Collage, from the French verb coller, meaning to glue, is the artistic process of gluing and assembling various materials to a flat surface. Collage can refer to both the actual procedure of cutting and pasting, the verb, as well as to the final artistic product, the noun. Think back to elementary school. Did you ever cut out magazine pages and then glue them to a piece of paper for a homework project? Or maybe you made a scrapbook with vacation photos and stickers. You may have been a budding collage artist and didn't even know it. The process of affixing objects to a surface is probably as old as paper itself, but it didn't become popular in the art world until about the 1920s. Artists including Pablo Picasso, Hannah Herc, Henri Matisse, and Romer Bearden each implemented this method. They began using collage as a more modern approach to making art. By cutting and pasting, they were able to deconstruct the subject they were depicting. They could then reassemble and glue it back together again in an entirely new way. Cubism, a style of art with origins in the early 20th century, explored underlying shapes behind an object, often deconstructing it into basic and abstract structures. Collage worked well to express the geometry of an artwork. As the artist cut out simple shapes from paper or journalistic scraps, he or she would overlap pieces, making compositions from the glued elements. Collage fused painting and sculpture, the flat and the three-dimensional, into one complete image. One of the first champions of Cubism was the famous Pablo Picasso, whose collage works include Guitar Sheet Music and Wine Glass from 1912. In this collage, Picasso used 7 different pieces of paper with different patterns and textures, all on a wallpaper background to suggest the rough shapes and contours of these 3 objects. Hannah Herc, a German artist, used collage to critique her government. Herc was a member of the influential Dada movement. The Dada movement responded to emerging political ideas following World War I. By creating avant-garde artworks that used humor, a playful tone, and irony, Dada artists questioned their society and redefined art. Herc's form of collage was also called photomontage because she often used newspaper clippings and photographs. She included images of real people during real events as a form of quiet protest. There are lots of real people, including politicians, whose photos appear in Cut with the Dada Kitchen Knife through the last Weimar beer belly cultural epic in Germany, created in 1919. By gluing the cutout heads of famous government officials on the bodies of German ballerinas, Herc challenged the status quo and mocked what she considered the oppressive leadership of the era. The French painter Henri Matisse is known for his bright, colorful collages. Though he was first and foremost a painter, Matisse began creating collages in the latter part of his life. After he got sick, the artist's physical strength diminished. Collage became a way of painting with scissors, as Matisse himself described it. The result was large-scale collages with big swatches of cheerful, saturated color. He often cut abstract and natural, free-form shapes, creating joyful artworks during a time of personal hardship. Collage became an important movement in the United States through artists like Romer Bearden, whose collages reflected the African-American experience during the Civil Rights Movement. Bearden glued and stuck glossy magazine pieces onto surfaces to build his collages. The artist embraced the process of collage because he believed it to be a metaphor for the coming together of communities and could promote social progress. Just as a society is built of many unique people, Bearden's collages were composed of individual shapes and textures coming together as a united whole. Collage